Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel The Ideas to Travel. This is Chetan Desai here. So we landed in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. So there are basically three modes of travel here. The first one is KLIA Rapid Express Pass, KLIA Transit Pass, and also you can also purchase Touch and Go Rapid KL. So we purchased Touch and Go Rapid KL, which is uh, pretty good for the price of what we were traveling for the next 3 or 4 days. The pass was costing us little more than 120 ringgit, so we thought just using touch and go and paying as and when needed was the best option. That's why we took the rapid kale card. So we rushed to the terminal 1, took the shuttle and reached the station Puching Perdana, where our hotel Hilton was, and we reached pretty much late at around 9:30. So this was what our morning view was from the hotel. So the weather was pretty humid and it was quite good sunny day for us to explore, and we just crossed through the neighborhoods exploring all the houses and reached the nearest metro station using our KL rapid card. So hopped on to the metro stations, and metro here is very convenient, so you can get down and hop on and hop off at multiple stations. So comes our brunch place, which is the Big Sing. So we thought we'll order some buttermilk as it was too heat, and ordered some curries and also some naans for the brunch, and it was not bad, I would say. So we just finished up our brunch and headed back to exploring the multiple places which Malaysia could offer us. We bought some layer cakes and also the durian ice cream, which is pretty famous in Malaysian markets, and it was fabulous. So here comes our first stop. We took a shuttle to the first destination, which is the famous Batu Caves. So it was totally surreal. I mean, having such a location right in the center of the city is something which is very astonishing. So we were greeted by all the monkeys in this hot weather, fed ourselves with some coconut water before we start heading to the temples. Batu Caves is a massive limestone hill featuring a series of caves and cave temples located about 13 kilometers north of Kuala Lumpur. It's one of the Malaysia's most iconic Hindu landmarks, easily recognized by the 42.7 meters tall golden statue of Lord Murugan guarding the entrance. So we are climbing the steps of Batu Caves. Look at this. All the way to the top. So if you can see all the color staircase, so that is what we have to climb in order to get to the top of the Batu Caves. And climbing in this hot weather made it equally challenging. But once we arrived in this caves, it was such a nice place. Like, it was cool, calm, and filled with full of energy, and also the prayers which were gonna take place in the next couple of minutes. After spending some quality time at Batu Caves, next we headed to the KK Mart, which is quite famous to explore all the different retail items of Malaysian market. And from there, the Petronas Towers was pretty nearby, which is in the downtown of Kuala Lumpur. So on our way, we could find some good architects of the Chinese temples, so we explore that on the way as well. We always have the habit of collecting newspapers to all the countries we visit to, but we couldn't find any newspaper in
all the stores which we checked out, and KK stores or 7-Eleven, nowhere.
Selamat Datang, which means welcome in Malaysian language. So Grab app is pretty much used to book cabs or to book the food orders which you want to get, something like that. And the next we headed to the Surya KLCC mall, which is pretty famous for its shopping, which is right beside the Petronas Tower. So this is what the Petronas Tower looks like. So I wasn't knowing that the Petronas Towers was constructed by the company Petronas, which is the famous oil company in Malaysia, until I read it in the blog over there. So if you want to explore the local food market, head to the Kampung Baru, which is famous for its local street style veg food. So we tried veg nasi lemak, which was pretty good because we wanted to try something which is vegetarian in the Malaysian, which is very difficult to find, but this was pretty good for vegetarians, I would say. So these are kind of like the motorbikes, which I found them very fascinating to ride on the Malaysian roads. And this is what the Twin Tower looks like in the night. So headed back to the room, and we hit the gym and slept off. So the next morning we are planning for something very exciting. So like I mentioned, everything is very accessible with the metros. So we headed straight to the Merdeka Square, where we'll find some different architectures and administration building. We also could find famous cricket grounds which the Britishers used to play at, and also the coffee place or the company called as BOH. And so this is all the administration blocks of Kuala Lumpur, and the building what you see in front of me is the Sultan Salman's building.
So there's a place in Merdeka Square where the British used to play cricket, and we are in that ground. So I'll show you the place.
Building is a Moorish architecture, which was an iconic 1897 heritage landmark. Now it has all the government offices. Before it was serving as a high court. To beat the heat, we had some plum juice at the Ganga Indian vegetarian cuisines at the Central Market here in Kuala Lumpur. We also had some good veg thali, which was pretty good for the standards of what we were expecting. If you want to find some local artisans, this is the place to buy all the souvenirs or some gift hampers for your visit. The famous drinks of Malaysia, the teh tarik, packed in a pretty nice cover, which was very fascinating to see. And this is the market which is full of colored drinks, which the Malaysian market is famous for. And do want to mention that Malaysians do consume a lot of sugar, so just see what drink suits for you and then have them. So we also tried the food order delivery from the app which is called as Grab, which is quite famous in Malaysia, and it was pretty decent. just the way as Zomato or Swiggy works in India. It was pretty reliable and the service was top notch. So the final moment has arrived. Our cab is arriving, and we are heading straight to the airport. Before that, there's a last dinner, which is Din Thai, which is right in the Terminal 1 of the Kuala Lumpur International Airport. So the dumplings and the noodles and also the sauce was pretty nice. I would definitely recommend Din Thai Pho, which is pretty nice to have some bite at the airport. Your trip to Malaysia is definitely incomplete if you haven't tried the kaya toast, which is pretty nice, and the white coffee, which is kind of okay
So
as what I
we
felt
are in the
like.
airport. We don't know if our flights will be cancelled today from Malaysia since the airspace of Dubai has been closed on all the UAE. So hopefully we'll fly back home today to India.
So the immigration was pretty smooth, and this is on the screen. This is for the one who's entering India. If they are the visitors, they have to fill in all the details about name, nationality, passport number, purpose, and arrival dates, and the number of countries visited, address, and blah blah blah. So this is what it looks like if you are a tourist and planning to come to India. This is what you should be aware of. And we directly landed in Cochin, and thankfully nothing went wrong because since the war had started. So this is the breakdown of the total cost for the two of us. The visa was free for Indians, flights 31,581, hotel was free, we used credit cards. If not, it would be 27,000 INR, insurance 580, food 8,000 odd, shopping 1,350. So total was just 42,758 for two people, excluding the hotel. So think twice before spending that money somewhere else when you can make international trips and just this much of amount. So keep following our channel, and I'll show you the best content at an affordable price where you can travel along with your friends and family.